Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and to another episode of the Youth Only Road to Glory, where we take our team, one of our own FC, and we try and take them from the bottom of the English pyramid all the way up as far as we can to the Premier League. Last episode we left you on a bit of a cliffhanger. We couldn't sign a new contract for Melhedo, our main striker, but as you can see on the screen, we have managed to finally give him a contract, and we signed him on for 4 years as well, so we'll be able to keep him for a long time. He has got a relegation release though, so hopefully we don't get relegated this season. But the new season ticked over. So we're on the 25th of June. His contract was expiring, as you can see, on the 29th of June. But luckily, as we ticked over into the new season, it meant our finances got boosted up. We put all our transfer budget into our wage budget. And as you can see, we've got £5,000 spare underneath the wage budget to spend, so we managed to give him that new contract nicely, which means we've got a striker for this season. Of course, our only other striker we've got is our youth player, Amankwa, who came through the youth system. Not that great, he hasn't got high potential, so keeping hold of Melhedo was a big sign, and hopefully this year we do get a good striker in our youth system. But I'm going to figure out the team. Of course, last season we got promoted to the National League. I'm going to figure out the team, try and put as many youngsters as we can in the team. The board just wants us to avoid relegation, which is our ultimate goal for this season, to not get relegated again. Hopefully we can stay up and push on from here on in. We should have a better team this season because the youth players we've got coming through are starting to develop now. So it should be looking good. I'm going to sort out the team and I'll come back to you to show you how it looks. Alright guys, so this is the squad that we've got going into our second season in the National League. Of course, coming back up from the National League North last season. As you can see on the right hand side, we've got the ages of all the players. So all the 19, 17, we've got 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds. These are all the youth players that we've had come through the youth system. The 28, 29-year-olds are the ones that we started with. But of course, as they get to retirement age, we'll have all these youth players coming through. Our best player by far is Kevser Jr., playing a lot in these last 3 seasons. As you can see, he's valued at 180,000, 2.5 stars currently, and I think he has a 5-star potential. He does. All green thumbs up overall. It's going to be difficult to keep hold of him. So the main thing this season is probably maybe even giving him a new contract to keep him on. He's only on £475 a week. A big team could come swooping in for him and snap him up. So we would like to keep hold of him. He could be a good one to go through the leagues with us. Of course, got few more young players coming through. And if we go down to the reserves, we sent a few players out on loan. Little, the goalkeeper we came through last season, 5-star potential, send him out on loan because we do have 4 goalkeepers, Rosewell and Gascoigne, on the subs bench. We'll probably loan one of them out as well. Alpha, one of the elder players, out on loan. Plays right, mid and left midfield, but we don't use that formation, so we loan him out, get the money. And O'Neill and Overton, 2 centre midfielders that are out on loan because we are heavily stocked in that position. If we do need them back, we will obviously recall them. But we got 9 subs for the friendly matches. Of course, once we get into the season, we only have 5 subs anyway. So we actually got a nice, good squad building here now. We struggled with numbers for a couple seasons to make up the squads, the starting 11 and the bench. But this season, we're looking good. We've got good numbers. Youth players are starting to develop nicely. So the further we get through the season, hopefully the better the squad does get. And of course, our finances are looking better now as well. So I'm going to go straight into the season. We haven't even got into the friendly matches yet. I'm going to also offer contracts to any players that are expiring at the end of this season to get them sorted as early as possible. So I'm going to sort the contracts out, and then I'm going to fast forward until we get our batch of youth players coming through for this season. It's not a good start to the season. We're 11 games in, 2 wins, 3 draws, 6 losses, puts us down in 22nd in the relegation zone. But to be fair, we are the same points as Kidderminster, and it's still early on in the season. We're not even a quarter of the way through yet. So there is still hope, but it's not a good start to the season. But in other news, we have got our intake of youth players for this season. 7 players this year Hopefully they are some good ones. I haven't seen them. We're going to see them together. So let's have a look. Oh, that's a bad batch. Half a star on 5 players. 1.5 on Baldwin. And I guess the only positive is our 3-star player, Hodge, is a striker. We do need strikers. Hodge looks like our only okay player, but even so, he's only 3-star potential this season. So not looking good. After this season, what I might have to do is try and get our youth facilities back up to 5 stars. Actually, we're currently they put us down to 4 stars, so we might have to try and improve that. I've sorted most of the contracts out. There was 1 or 2 that wouldn't sign a new contract. But let's continue on. As usual, go till the 1st of January, and we'll check up on the squad then. Alright, so we're through to the 1st of January, as you can see on the right-hand side up the top. Unfortunately, a dire turn of events in the National League. We're playing Harrogate next, who are top of the league. And if we scroll down the table, we are right down the bottom in 24th, 6 points off of safety with worse goal difference as well. So it looks like we're getting relegated again. Hopefully we can keep our job though. If we have a look at our youth development squad, not much has changed at all. Of course, we're only really relying on Hodge to come through this system. Maybe take a couple other players just as backups, but not a great intake again. We've been let down with these youth intakes. If we had better youth players coming through, maybe we would have had a better season. Going into the squad, we're struggling with centre-backs. Hayes, our best centre-back, one of the older players, is not signing a new contract, which is very frustrating as well. Amos is struggling. He's our only other centre-back we have got, one of our youngsters that came through. Other than that, as you can see, not much great depth in the defensive positions. So we are struggling with that. The team doesn't look too bad, to be fair. It's a decent lineup. Maybe we try switching formation for the second half of the season. If we have a look at the fixtures, we made it through to the FA Cup first round proper. Unfortunately, lost 4-1 to Carlisle. A few early goals in that game as well. But we're not finding the goals this season. Melhado isn't scoring as much as he was in previous years. He's only on 3 goals. Our main striker, only on 3 goals, is not good after 22 games. Our top scorer is Hatton, centre midfielder. So hopefully, second half of the season, we push on, hopefully stay up. But it's going to be a difficult task. 27 games in, so we've got 19 more to go. Let's continue on towards the end of the season. So our worst season yet, 5 wins out of a total of 46 games, puts us rock bottom of the National League with 30 points. Means we're going back down again. Our second relegation into the National League North. 2 promotions, 2 relegations. Hopefully we keep our job. And hopefully next season we get promoted again. Of course, we did barely go up last season. We somehow pulled off the playoffs, finishing 7th. The same as Torquay, who finished 7th this year in the National League and have gained promotion, along with Harrogate, who won the league. It's time for the main part of this series, the youth intake at the end of the season. Of course, there wasn't too many good players. I forgot what positions we had, but Kidby is now got a 4.5 star potential. I think he might have been the centre midfielder, was it? We'll take him in. We'll have a look. Hodge actually was a striker, so we'll take Hodge. Blackwell on Aqua. There was one of these which was a centre-back, and we're going to need him. I'm just going to go and check. I'll be right back. So Blackwell was the other centre-back, sorry. So we're going to take him on. We'll take on Aqua, who was a striker, and one of these as well, I think, was a striker. But they've all got half a star potential, so we're actually going to just release these 3 players. In other news, though, our reserves team actually won the title. Not that it means anything, and we haven't got any players in there, but they did win the league, which, well, is something to gain from this season. Let's have a look at these players we signed. So, Kidby, a centre midfielder, can play attacking midfielder and defensive midfield. He's our first signing from the youth system this year. Doesn't look too bad, to be fair. 5-star potential as well. 1.5-star rating. We've got Blackwell, a centre midfielder. We're going to move him straight into the first team. Centre back, can play right back as well, which is huge. And centre mid, CDM and right mid. So he's got lots of positions he can play. 4-star potential. He could actually become good, Blackwell. And then we've got Hodge, a striker. Not too great, but we do need more depth in that position. But he has got a 4.5-star potential, so he could become good, but we haven't got much hopes for him this year. We're still trying to sign a new contract for the centre-back. Where is he? Hayes. He still hasn't signed a new contract. It's running out in a month's time. A 5-star centre-back that we really need to keep hold of. The only issue is our finances haven't changed, and we still can only offer 875 maximum on the wages. We did sell a player as well. It wasn't a youth player. It was a 30-year-old Warrington. He did do well for us this season, but we did sell him on for £28,000, which isn't a lot. But for this club, it is a lot, and he is 30 years old, so he's not one of the youth players that we're trying to develop. So we cashed in while we can. We took the money, and I moved that all over to the wage budget, and it still hasn't affected how much we can offer. And we didn't actually get any money from the FA Cup, which is strange. But next season, we'll be back down into the National League, of course. So we'll come back for the next episode of that. Hopefully we can win the league next year. If not, get promotion at least and push on. Because this series, as I said, even though we're struggling at the minute, we've got promoted, got relegated, got promoted again, and then relegated again. It's going to be difficult. It's going to take a few years for the squad to develop, for our finances to grow, and for the club to, of course, grow along with it. So it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a slow start. But once the ball gets rolling, we should start pushing on up the leagues, and it should become a bit easier. So just stick with it at the start. We're now 5 seasons in, I believe. So we've now got good young players coming through that will be playing most of the games as well. So if we have a look at the ages, let's just cancel this, sorry. On the right-hand side, as you can see, there's a lot of youth players that are actually in this starting 11 now. A few 20-year-olds, Kevsa Juniors up to 21. So we have got some good players coming through, and youth players coming through. They're all getting game time. San, our goalkeeper, of course, only half-star when he started. Now up to 1.5, but he's played 3 full seasons with us now. So he is getting better. With the games, they get better. So we'll come back next season. We'll have a play around with this squad. Hopefully get a good team lined up for the National League North. Hopefully we do well next season with our group of youngsters. But thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, please leave a like. Leave a comment as well. Any interactions really helps with the videos. And subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. But thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next season.